When it comes to influential world empires and tough armies, we all know about the Romans. Julius Caesar, Latin, Christianity, concrete. The Roman legions conquered swathes of land. Pretty tough guys, right? And how about Alexander the Great? His Macedonian phalanx marched through Persia. He made the Greek language in Europe the dominant power for hundreds of years. Clearly a tough guy. Oh, and Hitler, obviously. The Nazis conquered huge amounts of land. Say what you want about their policies on, well, killing people. It had to be tough to take over Europe. And let's not forget... Wait, who the hell is this? Temujin? Mongolia? How influential could nomads be? What the hell is a nomad anyway? Tough? Look at him. He's hardly... Wait. What? How did a bunch of nomads get so big? Man, we've got to find the answers to these questions. Or, if your teachers are watching, these questions. So keep watching, and let's learn about the Mongols. As with any good historical inquiry, we're going to start with broad questions and get more specific later on. Key question words are how, why, who, when, where, and what. Let's try a few to kick things off. No, that one doesn't really work. Well, that one's just stupid. Yeah, they seem like good starting places, but we need full questions. Excellent. That's clear and should be relatively easy to answer. Good. This one we can probably answer using dates and numbers, the easy stuff, like maths. That one's okay, but I reckon we could be clearer. Sweet. That's good. I reckon those questions will give us a great place to start. In 1279, the Mongols ruled over the largest contiguous empire in world history. 200 years before this, there was really no record of the Mongols. Even 100 years before this, in 1179, there were very few mentions of the Mongols at all. That means that it took less than 100 years to go from nothing to the biggest empire ever, and as we'll learn, it took much less than even that. This is good for us though, because it means we're really only looking at the late 12th and 13th centuries. But how about the question, where did the Mongols come from? Mongol sounds like Mongolia, so are the Mongols from the same place? Well, it turns out the Mongols do come from Mongolia. Kind of. It also turns out it's much more complicated than that. The Mongols were a nomadic steppe people, which means they rolled over a wide grassed area in central Eurasia called the steppe. The steppe includes Mongolia, but also includes places like modern-day Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine. The Mongols were just one of many groups of steppe people, and these groups have a history dating back thousands of years. There were the Cimmerians, the Scythians, the Xiongnu, the Huns, the Alans. All were quite similar, all were strange and terrifying to the city dwellers at the time, and all, it turns out, were incredibly tough. The steppe is wide, open, and a largely barren place that has hot, dry summers and cold, windy winters. It's good for grazing animals, but can't grow enough crops to sustain a sedentary population for any length of time. So when we talk about the Mongols being nomads, we don't mean that they hated cities. We mean they literally had to move around if they wanted to continue, living. So the Mongols had to keep moving in a harsh environment, and, as harsh environments tend to do, it bred tough people. So tough were the nomadic steppe people that when writers and filmmakers need to think of someone tough, they often go straight to the steppe for inspiration. A major part of any cultures that are consistently on the move are the beasts of burden. In places like the Sahara, these are camels. In modern caravan parks, it's the caravan, and in Mongolia, it was the horse. Mongol horses aren't quite the same as the horse we're used to nowadays. The Mongol variety is short, being not much bigger than ponies, but they are hardy and they have extra strong hooves. They're also used for food. Mare's milk was a staple, as was horse meat. Bort was a dried meat that could be ground down into a powder and it would keep for a long time. Horses were so important to the Mongols that they even drank horse blood on long journeys. Nomadic people had to be mobile. Nomadic food had to be mobile, and nomadic housing also had to be mobile. The Mongols carried around a portable home which was made of felt and called a ger. These houses were round, warm, and had a crown which allowed smoke to escape. So when the cooking was done, the crown could be closed to keep the weather out. It's interesting to note that in many ways, modern steppe people live in a similar fashion to ancient steppe people. Sure, it's not all the same, but the nomadic lifestyle, the horses, the gers, and the food largely remain. Throughout the course, we'll be doing smaller lessons on the role of women in Mongol culture and Mongolian sports, so keep an eye out for them. Until then, however, we have some questions to answer. How do we start inquiries? What is a Mongol house called? What animal is a key part of Mongol culture? What is bought? What modern country is not on the steppe? When was the Mongol expansion?